Hello, folks. The next cluster of questions could be broadly categorized as being about basis for belief, though they range around a little bit. Let's get to it.
Is there anything in your life right now that makes you doubt God's existence?
Well, that was simple enough.
If you did doubt God's existence, how would your life change?
Well, obviously I wouldn't be a Christian apologist as a profession. Beyond that, it might not change much. But I don't think how your life is affected personally is much of an argument for or against God existing.
Was Jesus white?
Well, those who see my vids know that I depict biblical characters from Palestine with a darker skin tone, like Peter here. That's the way it actually was.
Why does it seem more likely that God will help someone who is a talented athlete over a starving child overseas?
This isn't too clear, but it seems to go back to the prior issue on prayer. I can't say more than that since he doesn't say why it seems more likely. I don't think God helps talented athletes do anything, no matter what Tim Tebow thinks.
Why does God seem to hate Africa?
This is just the same question another way. I don't think God hates Africa.
If a group of people from, say, Africa came to your community with the intent to convert you to their tribal faith, would you listen to them and take them seriously?
That's my job as an apologist, but I'd do so anyway.
Does God speak to you personally?
That's a modern Christian myth as far as I'm concerned. The next two questions assume a yes answer to that one, so in theory I could skip them, but let me do one anyway.
If God spoke to you and told you to kill your child, would you do it?
Now before I answer that question, I want to know something. It's illustrated by this bit we'll take from a prior vid.
Told me to
No,
do.
you don't. Move away from the child. Move away. That's it. Slowly.
God
slowly.
told me that I have to kill him.
Okay guys, let's clean this mess up.
This is supposed to be me? He looks like some guy who ate a bunch of mushrooms.
And this wimpy little toad is supposed to be me? What? Is he cold or something?
Hey, give him a break. He's used to drawing stick figures.
Oh no, not you again. What do you want this time?
What do you think, Nosko? Here you go again, screwing around with Bible stories like you've studied them beyond what you read in that free children's picture Bible at the dentist office. Do you have any idea what actually happened here?
Sure, that psychopath who hears voices cruelly tormented his son by nearly killing him.
You see what I have to deal with.
I'm not sure how you put up with it.
Okay, Nosko, you repeated the word psychopath enough times to bore me to death. How about we bring some contextual sense to this little charade of yours?
Context? What kind of context could justify this kind of psychopathic behavior by someone who hears voices in his head?
There you go with that psychopath crap again. And you can't even keep your story consistent with it.
What do you mean?
In your vid, you say Abraham was listening to voices in his head, as though to imply that he had some kind of mental illness. And you make him act like someone who's mentally ill. But at the same time, your narrative implies that God really did talk to Abraham, which means your story has it so that the voice in his head had an objective basis. So make up your mind, Nosko. Did God talk to him for real or didn't he?
Oh, come on, I'm an atheist. Of course I think God didn't talk to him for real.
Then how about you present the narrative in a way consistent with that, huh?
I don't get it.
So now let's repeat the question.
If God spoke to you and told you to kill your child, would you do it?
What I want to know is he asking this assuming that the voice I hear is just my imagination, or is he assuming it really is God's voice? Because it seems to me that if God really is talking to you and says to kill someone, it's probably for a good reason. I mean, think about it. What if God told you to kill this baby? Yeah, I know, some of you Fundy atheists are whining already. But what if I told you that baby grew up to be this guy? It's kind of ironic because I've had Fundy atheists ask me why God didn't kill Hitler as a baby. It's like you can't win no matter what you do.
Is God always watching over you? How about when you're on the toilet?
But it does depend on what you mean here. If you mean is God constantly monitoring you like with an eye on a camera, I don't see why that would be true. Omniscience implies only that he could, not that he constantly does.
What do you say to Muslims who believe the Quran is the holy book?
Islam isn't my specialty, but it is a specialty of these guys and they do their homework. If you think otherwise, feel free to take them on.
Are they wrong?
And you can go to the same place for an answer why.
Have you read the Quran?
Yeah, and let me tell you, it's hard to decide whether that was more boring or the Book of Mormon was.
And why do you so easily dismiss their holy book?
Well, if you want to call the depth of research I'd refer to at Answering Islam easy stuff, then you're the one with the problem.
Why do you get so upset at atheists who dismiss yours?
Now let me put it this way. I have yet to deal with an atheist who does quality research that shows they have a reason to dismiss it. Alright, that's all for this round. We'll be back with round 4 next time. Until then, this is JP Holding. See ya.